Hey, hello. What's up, everybody? It is Atandra Vinchale, the keeper of the Mermaid's Wisdom, your feminine wellness guide and educator. And I wanted to do this video really quickly based on a conversation that I had with one of my children. I get so much wisdom in speaking with my children, and there are so many different transmissions and so many beautiful things that come through in our conversations. And so I'll get right to it. So my son, I went to work out with my son today, and then after that we went to lunch. And I was asking him about some of the things that was on his mind. And he starts telling me, he's like, well, Mom, one of my friends is going through all of this stuff, and it really stresses me out because I'm not really sure, how to deal with it. I'm not really sure, how to be there for her, really what that means. And so, he explained to me a little bit about what was going on with her. And he started saying things like, well, I'm not really sure what to do. Don't really know how to be there for her. I don't really know what to say. And I have this kind of conversation with my children all of the time when it comes to these kinds of things. And sometimes they have good experiences with people who they think are their friends, and they have bad experiences with people who they think are their friends. And I tell my children all the time that most people are not taught how to be friends. You go to school and you were taught math, science, English, history. You may have some spiritual teachings or some religious teachings from your parents. You may learn some things about morals and things of that nature, but most people are not really taught how to be friends. And a lot of times what happens in a situation where you have a friend who is dealing with something, the idea is that I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen to you, and if you say that all men suck, then I'm going to say that all men suck. And if you say that life sucks, then I'm going to say that life sucks. And if you say that my job sucks, then I'm going to say that your job sucks. And so what we do is there's this back and forth interaction of just rehashing over and over again the misery that you are dealing with. And sometimes that happens, because there are some people who are just really not taught how to be friends. It also happens because there are some people who are just genuinely happy when you are in misery. And so when you are in misery, it makes them feel good. And so they want to continue to for you to speak about that misery. I know a couple of people in my life right now who I don't speak to because we can't really have a good conversation unless I'm talking to them about something that is wrong with me. If I'm having a conversation about things that are going well, about how I'm excited and all of the wonderful things that are happening, then there's no dialogue, there's no interaction. They just kind of sit there. But then when I start saying, oh, well, this happened and this happened and that happened and that happened, that's when they really open up. And so, number one, you have to be careful about the people who you choose as your friends, because you must remember that we are all products of our environment, whether we want to admit to it or not. And if you want to change your environment, then there are two things that you can change. You can change your actions, and you can change the people who you surround yourself with. Okay, there are many people who will tell you that you become the product of the 5 people that you hang out with the most, right? So if you hang out with 5 people who have a lack mentality and they stay broke, then you're going to be the 6th person who's hanging out with them, if that makes sense. If you hang out with 5 criminals, then eventually you are going to become the 6th criminal. That's really just the way that it works. It's how it works energetically. It's how it works statistically. I do understand that there are exceptions to the rule, but for the vast majority of situations, that is how it works. And so when my son was expressing to me that he has this friend and she's dealing with all of these things and he's not really sure how to be there for her, one of the first things that I told him is this. As a friend, first of all, being a friend is the act of friendship, okay? The act and the energy of friendship is a moving energy. It's not a stagnant energy. It should not be a stagnant energy, right? It's almost like saying that friendship is actually a verb. There are things that you do, okay? There is a work that is associated with friendship. It's not a situation where 2 people just hang out and you're like, okay, I'm your friend and you're my friend. Okay, well, what exactly do friends do for each other, right? What exactly does that mean? And so when he's talking to me, I said, well, one of the first things that a friend is supposed to do is you're supposed to be there to hold space. You're supposed to be there to hold space for the dreams and the hopes and the goals of this person who you call your friend. Now, why is this important? This is important because a lot of times when we are going through things that we perceived as negative, that we are experiencing life in a way that is producing less than desirable outcomes. We're not getting what we're wanting. We're not getting what we ask for. What happens in most situations is that we lose sight of our goals, of our hopes, of our dreams, of the things that we say that we wanted to do. And one of the reasons why we end up in a state of depression when these different things start to happen is because we cannot see ourselves outside of this box of pain that we perceive that we are locked in. And so when you cannot see your way out of it, you don't know what it looks like on the other side, then you begin to feel trapped by it. And that idea of not only am I dealing with all of these other things, but now I'm also trapped in this seemingly negative reality is very, very hard to deal with. And so as a friend, it becomes your responsibility to make sure that you are holding the space for their dreams and their hopes and their goals. So when they enter into these states of depression or enter into this state where everything just seems like it's spiraling out of control, you can help to refocus them and to redirect them on the things that they say that they want. The reason why a lot of you are not able to do that is because you don't even really know what the people who you call your friends actually want out of life. Because what you have is a parasitic relationship as opposed to a symbiotic relationship. A parasitic relationship is where you have the host and you have the parasite. And there is one person who is, hey, beautiful. This is the beautiful princess. Say hello. Hello. This is the princess mermaid. The mermaid princess. Say hi.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
I'm talking to the mermaids wisdom people.
I know you love me. I know you guys love me.
Yes, we do. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves you because you're so awesome.
I swim away like a mermaid.
Yes, you do. You swim away like a mermaid. Beautiful mermaid. And so I don't even know what I was saying. My baby girl. She's so awesome. Anyway, where was I going? Where was I going? Okay, so you have a friend who's in this depressed state and they cannot see their way out, right? And so it becomes your responsibility to hold space for their hopes, their dreams, and their goals so that you can redirect their focus. A lot of you are unable to do that because you don't even know what it is that your friends want. So what you have is a parasitic relationship as opposed to a symbiotic relationship. In a parasitic relationship, there is the parasite and then there is the host. So the host is being fed upon. And thank you, baby. And my youngest son just brought me a stuffed animal. He always brings me stuffed animals when I do stuff. They're my friends and my companions. So the parasite is being fed and the host is being fed upon. And so there's not really a reciprocal relationship between the parasite and the host, because eventually what will happen is the host will die. If the parasite sits there long enough and the host allows the parasite to sit there long enough, the host will die. In a symbiotic relationship, there is an even exchange of resources. There's an even exchange of energy in a symbiotic relationship. So when you are friends with a person, a major part Hey there, Victoria. A major part of creating this symbiotic relationship is making sure that you know the hopes, the dreams, and the goals of this person who you call your friend. Okay? So let's say you know the hopes, the dreams, the goals of this person who you call your friend. Okay, so here's what happened. They enter into a depressive state. You know, there's a breakup or there's a loss of a job or there's a loss of a family member or something like that. And they enter into this depressive state. Your job becomes to make sure that you are able to listen to them. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You listen with the intent of holding space, not with the intent of speaking. You're listening, not with the intention of trying to figure out how you are going to respond. Because a lot of times in those conversations, your friend is not looking for you to fix the problem. They are just looking for you to hold space for a healing that they don't feel like they can hold space for themselves. Okay, so that's number one. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Or here's where it gets interesting. What happens is a lot of people think that once you sit and you listen to it, then now you basically have to validate their suffering. Oh, my husband did this. Yeah, your husband sucks. Oh, my boss did this. Yes, your job sucks. Oh, my school did this. Oh, yeah, going to that school sucks. And so you think that you were supposed to validate their suffering. But when you validate their suffering, you're actually doing a disservice, because you're keeping them locked in this box of negativity that they see themselves in. And they already can't see their way out of it. And you're continuing to lock them in this box that they cannot see their way out of. Okay? So what is supposed to happen, and what should happen, is that once your friend has completed what they are speaking about, they've gotten it off of their chest, and there's tears and there's all of that, and you're there and you're supportive and you're listening and you're holding space, then at that point you begin to redirect them by starting a conversation about the dreams and the hopes and the goals and the things that they had outside of this. Because what happens is the effects of that conversation are going to be seen outside of the conversation. Because the goal is, when you get off of this phone with me, or when we get up from brunch, or we get up from lunch, or we get up from dinner, for you to start thinking, oh man, you know what? I did want to do that thing. I wonder what that's like. Oh man, you know what? I did want to go to that place. I wonder what that's like. And to give them a place, a different place of focus. But the only way that you can do that is if you know what they want, and if you are holding space for that. What does that mean? I will give you a prime example. My son, I have a 15-year-old, my son, that's the one that I was having this conversation with, wants to be a music artist. He wants to be, he's a rapper, and he wants to be a producer. And he is really, really into hip hop and all of those kinds of things. Okay. I don't like the show Empire. Okay. It's not one of my favorite shows. I don't even really like to watch TV, but I'm going to explain something to you. I watch Empire because I hold space for his hopes and his dreams. Why? Because when we have conversations, we can talk about those things and say, hey, son, how would you have handled this situation? Or here's what I think should have happened. Or, yeah, man, that was kind of messed up. Or, you know, if we're separated for a period of time, hey, son, did you watch that episode of Empire when such and such and such and such happened? And what would you have done? Right? So there's another series that my oldest son likes to watch. Okay. Again, I don't even really like to watch TV, but I watch it because I hold space for his dreams. My daughter likes to watch Nailed It, which is where these people, they get these fancy cakes and they're supposed to recreate these fancy cakes and bake them. I watch that show because I hold space for her dreams and her goals and the things that she wants. You understand? So the act of holding space for the dreams and the goals and the desires of your friends is a physical thing. It's something that you actually have to do. So now what happens is this. When I see things on the internet, I may see a program, I may see a show, I may see a meme, I may see a video. I will send it to one of my children, or I will send it to a friend of mine. I have another friend of mine who is into social media. She's like social media management. And so I was on Instagram one day, and this big time lady was like, hey, I'm looking for an Instagram manager. Boom, I screenshotted it and I sent it to her. I was like, girl, this lady has money, and if you want to be paid what you're worth, go find her. Now, I don't know what my friend was dealing with at the time. I don't even know what she was doing at the time, but here is the thing. At the point in which she sees that text message, that gives her an opportunity to redirect whatever her focus is at the time. So if she's having a bad day or having a bad experience or living in a situation where she's experiencing less than desirable outcomes, this now gives her an opportunity to redirect her thoughts. So I told my son, I said, I'll tell you what, as she's talking to you, let her talk, listen, be there. And when she's done, ask her questions like, okay, what is it that you want to do when you graduate? Okay, you want to go, I want to go to, I've got these 5 colleges that I'm looking at. Oh, okay, really? What cities are those colleges in? Oh, okay, they're in these 5 cities. Okay, great. Have you looked at them? Do you think that you would like that you would like living in that city? And then what happens is, if your friend has not researched that, now she's like, oh man, you know what? I don't even know if I would like living in Boston. I don't even know if I would like living in Seattle. I don't even know what there is to see in California. And so now when you get off of the phone, she now has an opportunity, like her mind is going, I wonder what Seattle looks like, or I wonder what Florida looks like, or I wonder what this place looks like, I wonder what that place looks like. And what it does is it gives her an opportunity to redirect her focus after the conversation. Okay? Now this is only one of the piece of this entire dynamic of friendship. But I think it's a very, very, very important piece, because you cannot be friends. You cannot support somebody you don't know intimately. And so when you hold space for somebody, that means that your eyes are always open. That's the reason why friendship is such an important, that is such an important relationship, and it's such an active relationship. Right? You don't get to just call yourself friends because you hung out and you got a couple of drinks together. If you're not able to hold space for the dreams, the goals, the wants, and the desires for this particular person, if you are not constantly keeping your eyes open for things that they might like and things that might help to uplift their life experience, if you are not constantly keeping your ears to the street on new opportunities that they may be into, even if they never look at the video, even if they never look at the meme, even if they never go back and look at the opportunity, you're giving them the option to redirect. I sent a video to one of my sons 3 months ago via email. I sent it to him 3 months ago. Literally just, I think it was 2 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago, I was away from home and he had just watched the video. And he emailed me back and he said, "Wow, thanks, Mom. That video almost made me cry. I really, really needed to see that." That was 3 months after I had originally sent him the video. But I would not have been able to do that if I didn't know what his dreams, goals, wants, and desires were, and I was not able and willing to hold space for those. And so I hope this was helpful. I wanted to share this with you. Let me take a look at my battery real quick. Okay. Yeah, because my phone is about to go dead. But I hope that this was helpful. And if it was, please like, share, and comment. I would greatly appreciate it. If you want some more individualized attention and some more of the juicy good stuff that I do, join girls only, women only. Join the Sisters of the Mermaid's Lair. You can find that group on Facebook, the Mermaid's Lair, Lair, mermaids with an apostrophe S. Join us in the Mermaid's Lair. I've got some really good stuff that's going to be coming soon, some awesome transmissions, and just some beautiful things that are going to be coming soon to that group of beautiful ladies who are looking to embody what wellness is from a feminine perspective and embody all of what it means to be feminine and all of what it means to be well. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful. I love you all. And until we speak again, stay strong, stay beautiful, and always work towards becoming a stronger you. I hope you enjoyed this Mermaid's Wisdom. Peace out.